Hello and welcome everyone. I'm the Up or Down, aka Tud, and today I'm going to be continuing my Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced playthrough. Just a heads up for anyone who missed the last episode, we ran into a situation where we lost access to some of our earlier saves. Um, I was able to, uh, through some help from a viewer in-game virus. I was able to help. He was able to help recover some of the save files. So we did pick up from an earlier save. So we are able to recover some of the playthrough at least. In the last part of the playthrough, we were working on Tud in the thief role here. We have Steelhelm under works. We have Mont Blanc here as the juggler working on Firebomb. Nektu in the thief role, working on steel armor. Kaif, we have just completed an ability. Let's go ahead and swap his weapon over. We have access to Rush. And it appears that may be all for the moment. Yes. Alright, so let's go ahead and change Kaif over to a white monk here. My goal for that is to get him started on the counter reaction. No helmets available for him at the moment. Let's go ahead and give him the chest piece here to start working on counter. We have access to air render as well. I don't believe he has that one yet. So let's get started on that. And instead of a helmet, we'll go ahead and equip some gauntlets here. Alright, yes, we have air render and counter started. Fantastic. For secondary, I'm thinking it might be better to go with Spellblade. Fire Sword tends to do more damage than most of the other abilities he has access to at this early stage. Yatulio, we decided to change from Bomb to Snake here. I felt it was better to get the 40 ability points into Snake from our previous battle instead of wasting 30 of them trying to complete Bomb. And then Leticia we have in the Elementalist role. She is almost halfway done with Slip Rain. Again, we did lose access to our Red Mage Eldina and Linny, our Mog Knight, as I did lose access to those saves. But that's okay, we can easily get them once again. Let's go into the pub here and take a look at some missions. We have a couple of options here. Looks like 5 days for an education. Nothing is more dear to me than my son, Lukel. Yet he has never done well on tests. Won't someone tutor him? Miss Kulel. Let's see who we can send out on this mission here. Nektu is still early on in his ability, and Kaif is as well, so I want to try to find somebody who is near the end. I could switch Yutulio back over to working on Bomb, or I can send Leticia out to try to finish up Slip Rain a little faster, which is what I think I'm going to do here. This mission will last 5 days, so a simple trip around the map should clean that up for us. We don't have Jerky for Come On Out, so we can't do that yet. We don't have the dictionary for Spirited Boy, so that one is a no. Hungry Ghost. With the Dragon Bone, we can get Eldina's Cup. Let's go ahead and get started on that. This mission, I believe, will give quite a bit of ability points, so let's go ahead and give that to Yatulio. Let's get him done as quick as possible with his ability. A hungry ghost hound is causing a panic at the Earlchad Monastery and raiding the pantry. Please put it to rest. Baldy, head monk. This mission will last for 10 days. Refurbishing will require a broken sword, which I do not yet possess. We don't want to pick up Diamond Rain yet. want to complete the send away missions first, so I have my full party to work with. And we've completed an education here. Leticia here. An education was over too quick. 30 ability points and a fountain pen. We've also gained a skill level up here in magic. 5 more days to go until we complete our second send away mission. Utulio here. Hungry Ghost was a success. We've now got access to Eldina's Cup and 50 ability points. We've also leveled up one of our skills. And gained a new potential clan member here. I am going to go ahead and decline, simply because we want to hold on to our open slots to fill with the secret characters. Let's go ahead and take a look at the treasure we have here. What treasure could lie in wait here? We found a pair of gauntlets. Alright, an item. I believe one of my characters is missing a piece of equipment. Let's take a look at that. Yes, Nexu could use a pair of gauntlets. Let's go ahead and equip those. That'll give him a little bit of extra weapon attack and defense. Unfortunately, his magic resistance is quite low. It is, I believe, one of his lowest stats. That's okay, we can fix that in due time. We have a few more options available to us now. We have a send away mission here. It will last for 15 days. I will be picking that. I do want to double check other options first to see what we have available to us. Alright, it looks like most of the same things. Materiite and Metal Hunt are both available, and they are both send away missions. Metal Hunt being 15 days and Materiite being 10. I found a turtle burial ground at a mountain shrine. I keep going back in hopes that I might find some adamantite. Kates, Traveler. Alright, let's go ahead and take this mission here. We're going to go ahead and send Utulio out here. Oops. Before we accept, let's go ahead and include a mission item here. Eldina's Cup. Including that mission will unlock Eldina as a secret character that you can recruit. It is a % chance, though. It is not guaranteed. Alright, we also have Materiite here. It is a 10-day mission. In the western edge of the Materia Wood, Materiite can be gathered with ease if you go at the right time. Go have a look. Sal's pub customer. Let's go ahead and accept the mission here. I believe Leticia is the closest to being complete. She's at 120. This mission, if it gives 30, will put her back in line to be done with her ability after one battle. Again, going to hold off on picking any other missions. Few more steps around the map here and we'll complete our mission. Materiite. Leticia here. Materiite was too easy. 30 ability points. And we've leveled up a skill. Our gathering skill. 5 more days and we'll be complete with our second send away mission. Utulio here. Metal Hunt was a success. 30 ability points. We've also leveled up a skill here. Unfortunately, we were not successful at obtaining the secret character. Few new pieces of lore here. Not going to go through and read all of that just yet. Swords in Cyril is a send-away mission. It will require the fencer to accept. Let's go ahead and send Amelia out on this mission. We will send her with Eldina's cup. Oh, I'm sorry, Elda's cup. Announcing the biggest event of the year, the Cyril Swordsmanship Competition. Test your strength and skill. Cyril Event Committee. And away we go. Alright, what other missions do we have access to? We could accept Village Hunt here. Participants wanted for a survey of the Elut Sands. We will cross antlion nests to find a legendary Moogle's hidden village. Barba, Junior Researcher. Let's go ahead and accept that mission. Now, before we proceed to the mission destination... Oh, looks like we lost Ludia Pass. Nothing really to be concerned about there. That gives us another send-away mission. Welcome to the Monster Bank. Your monster awaits. Raise your monster to be a good little monster. We have access to the Blue Goblin. We have the Yellow Flan, the Red Bomb, the Red and Blue Snake, the Blue and Red Bug, Blue and Red Panther, and Blue and Red Floda. Okay, that's going to be important to keep in mind here as we head to the next mission destination, the Elut Sands. Let's see what monsters we face here. There's another Blue Goblin. I believe we have all of the monsters present in this battle. Go ahead and set up here. Let's take a look at the laws. No use of bind or charm. Bind would be immobilizing or disabling. Good to know. Okay. So I will not be using Montblanc's ability to disable in this battle. However, other actions that would cause status ailment will not be prohibited. Look at all the antlions. This must be their nest. Defeat all the enemies. We're going to start out with Leticia here. We're going to move up into range and use Slip Brain on the first enemy. 60% chance to hit. Our intention is to slow the enemy. We have succeeded. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward here with Typh, and we will attack the antlion. 52 health, we have an 80% chance to do 55 damage. Let's go ahead and give it a try. We succeeded, and are now down to 4 enemies remaining. Let's go ahead and morph here into a snake. And we'll go ahead and move forward. And it's the Blue Panther's turn. He's going to go ahead and move forward as well. He will not be in range to attack this turn, though. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with Nekzu. I have access to some ranged abilities with him, but I am not close enough to use them. So we will simply hold off for now. Gonna move forward with Tud as well. Same situation with Tud, just out of reach. Alright, so I could get within range to attack with Mont Blanc here. It will be a 50% chance to hit, though. Definitely don't want to use Dagger. We could use Ball. That has a chance to confuse the enemy. 50% chance, let's give it a try. And we missed. And that does it for my turn. Let's see what the enemy has in store. The blue goblin is too far away to act. Same with both of the bugs here. Alright, Leticia is going to go ahead and move forward here and use Slip Rain once again to try and slow one of the other bugs. 80% chance to hit here. And we succeeded. Once again, another judge point. This action is counter to one of the illegal abilities. That's why we're getting judge points for it. Alright, let's go ahead and move forward here and do Air Render. This is a 75% chance to hit for 55 damage. That puts the blue goblin at critical health. Blue Panther's going to go ahead and move forward here and attempt to attack Mont Blanc. And that will trigger a counterattack, which he dodged flawlessly. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and use my snake ability here, Poison Frog. 70% chance to turn the blue panther into a frog, apologies. And we've succeeded. The judge had no qualms with that. Alright, let's go ahead here and attack the blue bug. We've done 47 damage here. Not quite enough to put him at critical health, but no worries there. This attack should be enough to finish him off. 26 health remaining, 90% chance to do 48. That brings us down to 3 enemies, one of which is at critical health, and another is unable to act, other than melee attacks. Got a goblin attack, 84% chance to hit for random damage. 25, triggering a counterattack for 61. That was fatal. Definitely a good strategy to get counter on all, if not almost all of your characters. Alright, gonna go ahead and use Mont Blanc here to cast some magic on the remaining bug. Looks like 30 damage, 80% chance to hit. I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with Leticia here. 23 health remaining on the enemy, 90% chance that we finish it here. Let's go ahead and give it a try. 45. She is just racking up judge points today. Alright, gonna go ahead and use an air render here on the frog. Because he is in frog shape, it will do slightly more damage than it otherwise would. I believe it is 50% more damage. So we have a high chance to hit for 85. It ended up being slightly more than that, coming out at 88. And that puts the frog at 4 remaining health. He's going to go ahead and attempt to melee attack Kaif, which will trigger a counterattack for 83 damage. And that will bring us to the end of the battle. I wonder if the Moogle village lies beyond. It does indeed, Tud. It does indeed. Alright, village hunt cleared. 40 ability points. Mont Blanc has mastered Firebomb. And Swords and Cyril is complete. Amelia here, Swords and Cyril was over too quick. 50 ability points there, and a clan level up. We also got the Mirror Mail. Mirror Mail is nice, it gives you Barrier, which will prevent red, white, black, and blue magic from striking you. Let's take a look at the pub here and see what's available to us now. I always like to take a look at the send away missions first. Unfortunately, we do not have the mission items required for Fashion World. Ludia Pass, alright. Requires defeating 3 enemies. Let's go ahead and send away Amelia once again. She only needs 80 more ability points to complete what she is working on. We'll go ahead and send her away with the Elda's Cup. And if she succeeds, this will open up the Ludia Pass territory to us once again. I opened a shop in Ludia Pass, but not a single customer has come yet. I think I need to advertise. Could you pass out flyers? Vince, tool shop. Alright, let's head into the next combat here. This is a random engagement with Clan Marble. Looking at the laws, no use of slow or ganging up, so I will not be able to use Slip Rain from Leticia. I'll have to simply melee attack with her or not use her at all. I usually like to send about half of my crew forward and the other half backwards. I don't currently have any other characters to substitute in for Leticia here, so we're simply going to try and avoid using Slip Rain. Simply going to move a little closer here. Ah, I forgot, she does have access to red magic, so yes, we will go ahead and start casting some spells here. She doesn't have a large mana pool, but she can probably get a few casts of different spells off here. We did miss with the Blizzard spell. Going to move up with Kaif here and use, not Fire Sword, Air Render, yes. 48% chance to hit for 56 damage. That would put him at critical health if it hits. And we missed. Let's go ahead and morph here into a snake. Now we will go ahead and move up here. Leslie the Fencer is going to go ahead and move down here towards Kaif and attempt to attack. This will trigger a counterattack. hit for 9 damage, counterattack, missed. Alright, their archer is going to go ahead and try to strike my Morpher. It did miss. Let's go ahead and try to take out the archer here. We're looking at 48 damage with a melee attack, or 57 with air render. 75% chance to hit here. We succeeded for 60 damage, putting the enemy at critical health. On to Tud. Unfortunately, I do not have access to any sort of area effect abilities here. That would come in handy. We have a 73% chance to do 58 damage, or a 75% chance to do 54. Let's go ahead and hit the Moogle here. We have a chance to take him out. We were 1 damage short. He remains alive with 1 health. Alright, Mont Blanc's turn. Let's go ahead and move up here. We can go ahead and use Dagger once again. 74% chance to hit here. If successful, this has a chance to disable the enemy, preventing any actions from being taken. And we were successful in that regard. Melee attack from the Moogle, it will be successful, damaging mana points by 9. No action can be taken from their soldier, he will simply move and end his turn. Their warrior is going to go ahead and move here towards my Morpher. 68% chance to hit here, and he missed. Alright, Leticia's turn. We're going to go ahead and move behind the archer here, and we will strike for a melee attack. This is an 88% chance to hit for 50 damage. And now we don't have to worry about any sort of ranged attacks. Kaif's turn. I'm going to do something a little different here. I was initially going to use Air Render, but instead I'd like to use Rush. Rush pushes the target backwards. And if you push an enemy off of a cliff, they will take damage from the initial hit and damage from falling. So let's... she doesn't have a whole lot of health, so she might actually die before she falls. She did. 64 damage taken there. That was an instant kill due to her low health pool. Yatulio here has access to a few different abilities. Twister, which would reduce health by half. We have Poison Frog. Kiss would be Charm and Doom. Also has access to Night and Hand Slap to delay turn. I'm thinking Kiss here has a 50% chance to Doom and Charm. I don't necessarily know that we need to do that. Everyone else's health on their team is rather low. 70% chance to turn into a frog. Let's go ahead and do that. We should have went with Kiss. I have a feeling it would have been more successful. Let's go ahead and move forward with Nexu here. And use Air Render. 75% chance to hit for 51. We did 54 damage there. That puts the enemy at about 26 health. 31. And another Air Render will take him out of the battle. 88% chance to hit here. 2 enemies remaining, the soldier who cannot act, and the Moogle who has 1 health. If I were to do dagger once again, that would be 29 damage. If I were to instead use fire magic, we would be looking at 29 damage as well. Let's go ahead and use some fire magic. That'll put the enemy at critical health. Bismarck, the Moogle, gets 1 more turn. He's going to go ahead and move towards Nektsu here, an attack which will trigger a counter. 50 damage taken, that is fatal. One enemy remaining with 9 health to his name, and without the ability to perform any actions. Let's go ahead and remove him from the battle. 87% chance to hit here for 56. That went well. Let's keep up the good work. Got another Atmos Blade, which is what I would use on a humanoid character to learn Air Render, and 50 ability points. Etulio has mastered Snake, Leticia has mastered Slip Brain, and Ludia Pass is now complete. Amelia here, Ludia Pass was over too quick. 50 ability points there. And we've gained a Scarab for leveling up some of our stats. New clan member, Eldina, the Red Mage. She starts out at level 9, which is an average of all characters in your clan, plus 2, I believe. She does start out with a couple of abilities here. She has Barrier and Double Cast. Double Cast is a very powerful late game ability that you don't often have access to at this stage, unless you find this character specifically. So yes, we will go ahead and welcome Eldina to the clan. She will sub in for Leticia. We are going to go ahead and change the way we organize the characters here so that they are organized by level, so you can see where everyone ranks. Nektsu is the lowest level at the moment. He's about halfway to level 9. We have 5 characters at level 9, and 1 at level 10. Yatulio being about halfway to level 11. Alright, Eldina, let's go ahead and get you started here. We have Chain Plate to learn Catch. We also have access to Thunder, Blizzard, Poison, and it looks like that may be it for the time being. We'll go ahead and get her started on Thunder. We can equip a Scarab to null Immobilization, Disarm, and Frog. Need to get her another pair of shoes. Since we don't have the ability to put on a helmet, we can equip another magical item. The Magic Ring. That will increase magic power by 3 as well as resistance by 10. We'll go ahead and put items on as our secondary and Catch. Alright, now we need to swap out Leticia's abilities here. She just finished Slip Brain. Alright, let's go ahead and start working on the next one here. I think, yes, we do have a weapon here at the bottom. This will give Shining Air. Let's take a look at what that does. Rush of Air. damages and inflicts darkness. This is actually one of the better options. Slip Brain causes slow, which is a permanent debuff unless someone casts haste on that target, for example. And darkness is also another ability that doesn't wear off unless it is cleansed by a healer. So having access to that is not a bad thing by any means. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop into the shop here. We're going to go ahead and buy a pair of boots for our new red mage. Now we also have access to the Fortune Ring, which would nullify Sleep and Doom. It only does 5 resistance and 3 defense. I won't get the 3 magic power or the 5 extra defense that the magic ring provides, but having that nullification of Sleep and Doom I feel like is much more preferable for our new red mage. Let's go ahead and set her up here. Fortune Ring for you. And a pair of speed boots. That gives her 5 movement points. I always try to average 5 for everyone in my party. The sooner you can get the distance closed between you and the enemy, the better, obviously. Let's take a look at the pub here and see if there's any more missions that we want to take at the moment. None of the send away missions are available to us yet. Don't have the required items. A challenge. Yo, Clan Nazi, you're quite popular lately. There's still time for you to join us at Clan Baham. Or else. Mince, Deputy Clan Boss. Alright, let's go ahead and start this mission. No need to send Eldina's cup on that mission. I already have Eldina, so we will not be needing that item going forward. We do have access to a few mission items we could send. If you'll notice, each of these items has something special about them. The soup has defense and resistance on it. Well, I should say some of these items have special qualities about them. Magic metal would increase magic power. And black thread would increase magic power as well. Sprinkler wouldn't increase any stats specifically, but it would enhance the power of water and ice magic. Ahriman Eye is magic power and the power of dark magic. The crystal would be weapon attack and resistance. Monster's Guide does nothing. Loaded dice increases weapon attack. Fountain pen for magic power. Eldina's cup for magic power. And adamantite for defense. Both adamantite and materiite do the same amount of defense. I'm going to go ahead and equip the crystal here for magic power and resistance. And let's equip the soup as well for defense and resistance. Alright, let's go ahead and accept this mission here. We have 25 days to complete it. And they will move around the map, more or less randomly. Decided to join Clan Baham? Your clan title will change. You can either join the clan or engage the enemy. Joining the clan more or less means you fail and have to do it again. So let's go ahead and engage the enemy. Already I see a black mage, a soldier, and a thief. Let's take a look and see if there's anyone else. There's an archer as well as a white mage. No use of control or ice. Fair enough. Actually, we'll put Mont Blanc in the back here. I want Tud in the front. Take Leticia out and put Nectu in instead. I want as many thieves as possible here. Anytime you're on a special named mission, there's usually good items on some of the characters. We have a magic ring here on the Black Mage. Mintz, the party leader, has the thief armlets as well as plate mail. Both of those items are very good. Darius, nothing good from him. Bella, the white mage, has a scarab. She does not have access to any sort of revival abilities, so no need to fret about her. And the judo uniform from Stan the Archer. So our primary target of theft is going to be Mintz. We definitely want his items. We have Nectu, who has the ability to steal accessories. I'm going to go ahead and switch Mont Blanc over to stealing as well. Ah, right, he mastered Firebomb, so he needs a new ability. Firebomb Ball, which will use Confuse. Ring, which I believe is Immobilize. Dagger, which he has already, and the Juggle combo. He currently has the Thief combo, so no need to be worried about that. I don't know that there are any more abilities he can learn for the Thief at the moment. But let's take a look at what he's got. Steel Shield, Accessory, Gil, and Experience. Yes, so there is actually another one he can learn. Let's switch him back over to Thief here. Yes, we definitely want to get started with the Weiger armor on some of our humanoid characters as soon as possible. The card is currently in use. Unfortunately, we already have shield and accessory, and I think those are the only two open to us at the moment. Experience he already has, as well as Gil. No worries, we'll just keep him in this role for now. Do want to make sure I put on his secondary stunt. Alright, let's take a look at Tud here. He's working on armor and steel helmet. I'm actually going to switch him over to steel accessory here. That will give us the ability to start Mont Blanc on steel helmet, so he has something to work on. Alright, let's go ahead and get this battle started. You're gonna be history! We're not gonna lose to any other clan. Defeat all enemies. Bella the white mage is simply going to move forward here. No real action for her to take yet. Same with the thief, too far out of range. I'm going to go ahead and move to the side here with Kaif. We're going to go ahead and use Air Render on their Black Mage. 63 damage and an 83% chance to hit. Alright, don't have to worry about any powerful magic. Stan the Archer is going to go ahead and move a bit closer here to try to get into range for next turn. I'm going to go ahead and start my morph into a snake here. We will simply end our turn, let the enemies come to us. Unfortunately, Nexu is a little bit too far away. We'll move up a tile and wait. Alright, let's move in with Tud here. Gonna try to steal the accessory that this enemy has. 75% chance to do so. And we've succeeded. We now have a pair of Thief armlets. Alright, time for Eldina to work some magic, if you will. I'm gonna go ahead and double cast into Thunder. We have a 50% chance to hit the Archer and a 60% chance to hit the White Mage. This will go off twice, as double cast implies. First attack missed the Archer, 24 damage on the White Mage. Second attack, 25 on the Archer, 21 on the White Mage. Mince, the soldier's going to go ahead and get a turn here. He's going to go ahead and move behind Tud and attempt to reduce his speed. 82% chance that this will succeed. And it did. Go ahead and move forward here with Mont Blanc. Unfortunately, Mont Blanc does not possess the Steel Armor ability. Before we perform an action, I'm going to take a second look at the laws here. No use of control. No worries there. I'm going to go ahead and use Dagger from the Stunt Tree on the soldier here. 75% chance that this strikes. And we missed. Velda the White Mage, 30 health remaining. I'm going to go ahead and move in front of the Archer here and perform no meaningful action. The Thief here is going to go ahead and move next to Tud and attempt to attack. 13 damage, 68% chance to hit. Triggered counter, which also missed. Alright, Tulio, let's go ahead and use Poison Frog here. On Dario, 60% chance that their thief becomes a frog. And we have failed. Stan the Archer, he's going to go ahead and take his turn here. Taking a step back to fire an arrow at Eldina. 0% chance that this strike works. He's attempting to disable us, but due to the accessories she is wearing, that is not possible. Let's go ahead and move forward here with our White Monk, Kaif. Too far away to perform any actions, so we will simply wait. Alright, let's go ahead and use Nexu here to steal the armor from the soldier, 75% chance to do so. And we've succeeded. We now have access to plate mail. Let's take a look here at the thief once more. Nothing of interest on him. The only other character with anything worth stealing is Stan the Archer. going to go ahead and move it a little bit closer here, and we will once again double cast into Thunder. 80% chance to hit the White Mage, 50% chance to hit the Archer. We missed on the first attack to the Archer and hit for 23 on the White Mage. Second attack here, we struck the Archer for 26, but we missed the White Mage. This is actually a very important blunder that the Red Mage just made. The healer can now move to the back here and cast heal on both them and the Archer, practically undoing the last turn's damage. 39 and 34 healing respectively. Mintz will go ahead and get a turn here. Alright, it looks like he's going to move over towards Mont Blanc here for the Weaken Magic Power ability that the soldier has access to. And succeed. Alright, with Mont Blanc here, I'm going to go ahead and move behind the soldier. We're going to go ahead and use Stunt once again. We will use Dagger to try to disable the soldier here. 28 damage. Looks like we were successful. Alright. Thief Darius is going to go ahead and move over towards our Morpher. 92% chance to hit here. This will damage mana points instead of health. Alright. Let's go ahead and use Kiss on the... Oh, he has an item on that makes him immune to that. Never mind. Instead, let's do that to the thief here. Kiss will Doom and Charm. 70% chance to succeed here. And I see we missed. So far, we have been unsuccessful with pretty much every attack that Yatulio has attempted. I'm going to go ahead and use Air Render here with Kaif to try to hit the thief. We have a 68% chance to succeed here. We have for 60 damage. Stan the Archer is going to go take a few steps to the side here and try to shoot Tud with an arrow. 17 damage, it was critical. Alright, we do not need the thief in the battle anymore. Simply got to take a step forward here and use Air Render. We'll take them out. 66% chance to hit. Had I not been knocked back, I would have attempted to steal the armor from their archer this turn instead. 41 health, 54 damage, 80% chance to hit. Let's go ahead and use Air Render. Alright, that leaves them with 2 characters remaining, the Soldier and Archer. Let's go ahead and double cast once again into Thunder. 27 damage. Looks like an 88% chance to hit. $28 damage on the first. 28 damage on the second. That puts the soldier at critical health and unable to perform any actions. He's simply going to flee. Let's go ahead and move closer here. Unfortunately, my chance to hit is drastically reduced. 50% chance for 35 damage. This would be fatal. And we have succeeded. How? How could I lose? Well, because you went up against the best. Alright, so a couple of options here. If I use Poison Frog, odds are he's going to attempt to attack one of my countering characters and take himself out. So instead, let's use Sleep. Well, we were successful. Alright, so that means Nexu now has a 100% chance to steal the armor that the archer is wearing. Our red mage is too far away to do anything, so we will end turn here. Tulio will get another turn. Time for some tomfoolery. 100% chance to turn the archer into a frog. Damage. Damage from poison does not cause the enemy to wake up. Let's go ahead and double cast some Thunder. 45 damage, 100% chance to hit. Now, although the second attack says it has a 100% chance to hit, it is not taking into consideration that this is a second cast, so once the enemy wakes up, that chance will reduce to 75% due to the enemy's race and class, I believe. Double cast Thunder. First strike will hit for 47, putting the enemy at critical health. The second strike will strike as well for 47, and that brings us to the end of the battle. I wonder if other clans will come with their challenges. Nice little bit of foreshadowing there. A challenge went well. Now for the next one. 40 ability points there. Alright, so let's take a look at our abilities here. I believe Yatulio has finished Snake, so let's go ahead and switch him over to Bomb here. Finish that off in the next battle. Eldina is about halfway done with Thunder. I haven't been using Leticia yet. Kaif is well on his way with Air Render. We have Montblanc working on Steel Helm. Tud is working on Steel Accessory. He has Steel Helm started. We will finish that off eventually. Steel Armor is about halfway done for Nexu. Alright, that brings us to the end of today's playthrough. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. Or if you're watching from Twitch or interested in checking me out on Twitch, please feel free to drop by and drop me a follow. I do stream 5 days a week, 8:30 p.m. EST to 9:30 p.m. EST. So if you miss me one day, don't fret, just stop in the next. Alright, until next time.